Hello and happy Friday Eve from the always front-running Coach A at Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. He is a clear and present danger to American democracy. That will be the conclusion drawn by the select committee today regarding Donald Trump. And the first thing we need to do in examining that statement is consider the tense. They're not going to say he was a clear and present danger. They're going to say that he is a clear and present danger. Present tense. There is nothing more deflective and ridiculous than when cultists say, why are we even bothering with this? He's not in office anymore. We need to move on. Really, morons? Okay. He is a clear and present danger as long as he wants to return to power. So if you want us to move on, he can control that. Just renounce any effort to gain any political power of any kind and we're good. But as long as he's threatening to try to retake the White House, he is a clear and present danger. Okay, you think that's unfair? You think that's over the top? What other president or former president do you know that tried to overthrow the government of the United States? And that's not in dispute. The facts are undisputable. What other president or former president do you know that incited a violent insurrection at our nation's capital? Can you think of another one? And yes, that was a violent armed insurrection whose purpose was to overthrow the government of the United States. What other president do you know that tried to overturn a completely fair election and in the process tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in our nation's history? What other president gave aid and comfort to our enemies and alienated our friends? And by the way, this Mueller report thing, you folks who haven't read it, you cultists, and you want to say total exoneration, hardly. There are dozens of examples of clear obstruction of justice, and the only reason he was not indicted is because he was a sitting president. Oh, and then stealing highly classified government documents, and this is not in dispute. It's really this simple. Those documents are not where they are supposed to be, and some of them are still where they're not supposed to be. Duh. Stolen documents. And he wants to do this again? And some of you want to give him a chance to do it again? How about hell no? It's not that he was a clear and present danger. It's that he remains a clear and present danger until we remove his influence from the scene, which we're going to do, cultists. And keep this in mind, you're actually in a very small minority, and you really have no power base whatsoever. Now, if it's any consolation for Mr. Trump and his lackeys and suck-ups, he'll never be the worst person in the United States because Alex Jones has that absolutely wrapped up. He remains, as does Trump, a clear and present danger. Okay, turning to football. The first step in solving a problem is admitting you have a problem. I have a problem. I am addicted to NFL football, and I plan to watch that game tonight between the Bears and the Commanders, and I plan to watch all of it, even though the Chicago Bears will be wearing orange helmets and jerseys in lieu of football proficiency. Here's a life lesson for all of us, and this is serious. There's nobody in the NFL that has a better reputation and has worked harder to build a great reputation than Raiders receiver Davante Adams. He is universally respected as a player, universally respected as a person, a good guy. He had a bad moment the other night. And it threatens everything, and there's a life lesson for all of us. So he shoves a credentialed member of the media in the aftermath of their disappointing loss to the Chiefs. And now he's facing a criminal misdemeanor charge. There is a life lesson there for all of us. All right, so BB and I were in Port Aransas Tuesday night, having dinner at a restaurant, and we're walking out, we're following the Astros game on BB's phone, and then Jordan does what Jordan did, you could have heard us screaming joyful sounds all the way to Rockport. Okay, this is how bad it is right now for the almost quarterback-less Miami Dolphins. They got no Tua, they got no Teddy, so what you gonna do? Well, the captains have decided that the problem is the ping pong table in the locker room. So they're gonna remove the ping pong table so that everybody can concentrate. If there's no Tua, if there's no Teddy, there's no backhand topspin either. Best wishes to former Georgia coaching legend Vince Dooley, who's recovering from a case of COVID at the age of 90. Yeah, that's a tough dude. Okay, one more thing. Yeah, I'm wearing this for a reason. If you're not familiar with UIW quarterback Lindsey Scott Jr., you need to be. This dude has thrown 27 touchdown passes in 6 games against exactly 2 interceptions. And this is the same quarterback who led the Southland Conference in rushing last year when he was playing at Nichols. He was the rushing champion of the conference, and he's a better thrower. He's actually a better passer, I should say, than he is a thrower. Now, no less than UIW coach G.J. Kinney, who I firmly believe if he wants to, Coach Kinney will be a head coach in the NFL someday. There's no doubt in my mind if that's the path he wants to go to. He was quoted the other day saying that Lindsey Scott Jr. is the best college football player in America. He did not say in the Southland Conference, he did not say in the FCS, he said he's the best college football player in America. I can't say that's wrong. You need to see this guy. By the way, all love and respect for Mr. Wilson at UTSA, so I'm not getting into the comparative thing. Love that guy too. But if you haven't seen Lindsey Scott Jr., you're missing something. I think I'll go see him right now at practice. We are radically rational.